ride anywhere we need to go. We can ride all night up to the morning, as long as we make the show. We can be the best or we can be the worst, so we can be the best thing you ever heard. With the motor singing and the grandstands ringing, it's hard to put it all in words. But this is how we ride, this is how we do. Riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove. Don't give a damn about the cash we're spending. With the time we got, we choose to play it on the go, to stay out on the run. We all high, wild, and handsome. Ain't telling you what's right or wrong or what to choose. Hey, but this is how we do. This is how we do. Out on the dirt ovals we play, life in the bright lights with no shade. So
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. And I'm telling you what, this new song coming out, I mean, I don't know if some people can handle it. You know, we made our little response to the Dirt Tracker. A bunch of people presuming that Dirt Tracker was talking about me in the asterisk video that he released. And the reason I say presume is because presume comes with knowledge or proper evidence to presume something is either a fact or not a fact. So I would call this a presumed guess that Dirt Tracker's asterisk video was about me, just because in the last week we literally did talk about the asterisk. This whole asterisk thing on the Outlaw Championship next year is basically spurred by what I had put out last week in my explanation that I think has some validity to it. I don't think that I'm too far off on thinking the way that I am there. Now, there is a situation at High Limit where the championship over there, does it come with an asterisk or does it come with a question mark? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think that there's asterisks on both sides of the fence now because of the scenario that we are seeing play out. I mean, once again, if the Outlaws would have played nice, gave all the Outlaws 12 races this year, worked with Brad, Sweet, and Kyle, and even Flo in a little bit of a way, we could be talking about this big, giant, expanded midweek schedule next year that will continue to work with the World of Outlaws to provide more money to the full-time teams of the series because Brad and Kyle just love racing so much. Now, unfortunately, that potential nice route is not on the table anymore, and we have us a debacle in the scenario. And I think that this debacle has added some asterisks to some championship titles next year. Not just one, but possibly two. Because even though, yes, the Francis Ngannou of sprint car racing is gone from the UFC of our industry, the World of Outlaws, just because he goes to the PFL or whatever, or this high limit deal and wins the championship doesn't mean he was technically beating the best of the best competition either. Whereas I do believe that currently the best of the best competition will be in the World of Outlaw series next year, just based on some of the rumblings I'm hearing underneath the trolling bridge, as we may call it. So I think there'll be multiple asterisks. Sprint car racing in general is going to be going through basically a rebuilding year. I mean, that is what we have seen here, and to build them up, just like Illuminati has done me. To build him up, we must first break him down and put him on the streets of LA. Now, at the end of the day, it's a little bit different than that. Honestly, I think that the sprint car industry is about to head to the late model world, And the late model world, it seems like over the last few years, has been trying to get closer to the sprint car industry. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean emphasizing championships. Even Dirt Tracker itself, even though apparently, everything I said that, in response to him and his attackers on his comment section all of that had nothing to do with me and my asterisk proclamation that it seemed like was being responded to, but apparently nothing of the sorts. Nothing of the sorts. But regardless, he even has a shirt that says "Make Dirt Late Model Championships Great Again." I believe it's something along those lines. And we've never technically had that issue in the sprint car world ever since the World Outlaws became the staple of the industry in the 80s and 90s and all into today. So World of Outlaw Championships have always carried a weight and an iconic accomplishment within the sport that late model racing doesn't really have to the same degree, especially. I think most would admit this. So we saw a situation where, and once again, I still want to give credit to XR, but maybe give credit to Flo and Rigsby as well. But the whole late model industry, basically, and Kyle says it, they put out a bit of a situation here where basically they put out a video. Sorry, getting messaged and all kinds of crap, getting distracted. But they put out on High Limit Racing on their Facebook page a little story, High Limit story featuring Kyle and Brad Sweet. And now in the story, it basically says what I've been saying. And for some reason, people want to say, oh, you're just lying about Kyle and lying about these sprint car people. And it's like they're all saying it. I don't know what the hell you're talking about personally. But they're all basically saying that the late model industry made them jealous. Envy. Back to ego. What controls the sport? Ego. What makes it go? What makes a driver want to win a race or a championship? Ego. What makes a car owner want to own a car that wins that championship? Ego. What track? Why do they want to have the bigger race than the other guy? Because of the ego. I could say big dick competition, but that may be a little bit too politicized of a statement in this transgender community that we live within now in today's society. So at the end of the day, ego, not the dick, ego is why people are making these moves. And so when the late model industry, along with XR, along with Flo, went to war in 2021 and 22 for late model drivers and basically had a full-blown auction house and was throwing money out left and right to attract the best drivers of the super late model industry, a bidding war, it made the sprint car people a little bit jealous, I think. And I think that envy of that situation, that egotistical aspect, that is good. Ego's not necessarily always bad. I think that is what has spurred the creation of this series and this entire scenario and situation. Now, that is said in this, and by the way, if you haven't seen it, go to floracing.com and or High Limit Racing on all their social outlets. You'll see a post looks very similar to this, and you'll click it and watch the video. I believe it's around 12 minutes. It's a nice little watch, which maybe they're going to come out with the watch next year, with the ring, a little matching set, a ring, a wristwatch, maybe a damn chain, around it, maybe a pimp hat with like the long cigarette straw thing like Cruella DeVille or something. When the guy comes out to accept the championship award, just have them all draped out. Just draped out. That'd be so pretty and so nice. And moving towards the future. And that's a lot of this stuff that they're talking about in here is about the future. I think that, once again, the most sincere person who wants this thing to take off and go and do something is Brad Sweet. I think majorly that is because he's the one putting in the footwork. He is the musker to this sled. Who's whipping them, who's telling them how to do it and not to do it, or approved or disapproved? Is it Larson? Is it the higher-ups at who knows? But I definitely do believe that Brad Sweet is the leg worker here, and he's the one in this video and throughout this entire scenario saying some very innovative and smart things about sprint car racing that we just ain't heard recently. Anyone in a powerful position, we ain't heard him talk that way. Kyle says a little nice things as well, but you can literally see when Brad is talking, you can see the mind working, and the eyes bright up a little bit on this idea or that idea. You can tell the sincerity is there. Whereas Kyle's just like, yeah, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then they all right, cut, and then he goes and gets on his yacht and goes play pickleball with Denny Hamlin or something. He's like, who gives a damn? While Brad gets off and he's calling up promoters and calling this guy and calling that guy. Hey, will you join? So there's just a different way of going about this scenario. There's just certain positions, and that's fine. I have heard some people say, there's a benefit to the World Racing Group alleyway of Brian Carter being the CEO guy, representative guy. And there's some negative in the same aspect that there's some negatives where there's a lot of leaders and chiefs in a room with this whole high limit deal. Who is the guy who makes the call or doesn't make the call? I've heard that there's been scenarios already brought up that certain entities within this group have said no to, where the other entity wanted to say yes, and they had to cancel a plan because somebody dropped the hammer on another guy's idea. So that kind of situation doesn't necessarily happen over there in the decision-making boardrooms of the World Racing Group when you got a guy like Carter, who we visibly see who's gonna, have the last hammer or trumps one opinion versus the other. That's the guy making the choices, whether they work out for the good or the bad. That's a whole nother prerogative. Only time will tell. Results will show. Eventually, results will show. But I do like some of the stuff that Brad and them say here in this video. They're definitely playing on the emotional side of the sport. They're definitely wanting the fans, the drivers, the people to see their emotional vision of where this sport can go and lead to. I've been sitting here saying, hey, I'm looking for $25 million, $5 million to promotion and marketing. We're doing $21 million purse races with sprint cars and late models, NHRA weekending it up. 20 races, that's it. We're in and out of big cities, big markets, and that's it. Don't matter what track it is. We don't really need in person. I mean, we'll have people at the track in person, but hell, at this point, we may just build us a board track and do an all-season stadium tour. That's what we should be doing. That's how I see it. We need to build a board track that you can assemble, disassemble, put on an 18-wheeler truck, and transport across the country, just like they did the half pikes with the skateboarding and all that stuff. I think that type of surface would not dirty up the crowd and be able to be transported to multiple different areas and put on a show wherever you want to go. And if it's properly done right, you only need 20 or 25 really good weekends of racing for not only the fans, but also the drivers and the crews and the people involved in the sport. And it's funny enough, I said that last week, and Brad Sweet's literally saying that, where he wants events to be, he says that the sport has different events that are big, but he would rather it be like every race, every event is an event every weekend. And I don't think you can get to that point, though. I don't think you can get to every weekend being a big event, but I do think you could get this sport to where you have 20 to 25 marquee events, in my opinion, under a banner like an NHRA style that will pay huge, pay enough to where people don't have to race every weekend to make a living and survive. Almost have a actual sports lifestyle where you have a season of racing. Our season in racing right now, it kind of stopped right now, but it really kind of didn't. I mean, you got dirt in December coming up, Arizona and down there, they're still racing on the West Coast. You got the asphalt race coming up in Vegas. And then January, it Chili Bowl, Australia. I mean, these people, maybe driving race cars is great and grand, but doing it every week, every other week for the rest of your life, I think some people are not really seeing that as glamorous as most people out there possibly do. They are and maybe it's just racer's privilege. You don't really know all that you have because there's so many people out there that would kill to take your position. But and I also think that there's also a little bit of misunderstanding of reality if you're a person out there who really envies these guys in their positions, sit back and actually think all that you would have to do to fill that role. So I think where Brad's talking about here is a great idea. Like I said, I've been talking about it already. how to do it, where to do it. I think you got to do. I think we're talking about a 3 to 5 year plan here, where in that perfect scenario, you have to eliminate all competition and take over the market to do it correctly. That way you don't have no competition. It's not like the NFL's out there battling against another football league. I mean, everyone else, if they're even in existence, they're 10 to 15 levels below. Even NBA, same situation. Major League Baseball, all these things. So you got to eliminate top tier competition. Now, that's going to be a little difficult because while High Limits over here playing the emotional vote on the society of the dirt track racing world, you got the World of Outlaws over here talking about iRacing. Now, if you ain't seen our video from yesterday about iRacing, is basically destroying the youth of the driving abilities of the young racers of the Sprint Car Society. I invite you to go and check it out. I actually made a point on the fly that I couldn't even believe as I was saying it, but after I sat there and said it, I was like, well, actually, this makes a lot of sense. And it talks about how all of our younger racers, their first experience on race tracks and sprint cars and stuff are in these games. And in these games, there's a lot of unrealistic moves that you can pull that don't really have, that end up with unrealistic results. Whereas in real life, I have a feeling, like, go listen to it. It's a really good one. It's a really good dive into it. But over here on worldoutlaws.com, this is the latest news. But this latest news is going to change. This iRacing thing is in and out. Obviously, you have here David Gravel, return to the World of Outlaws. But I want y'all to pay attention to this section right here, and that's the schedule section. Yes, the schedule. Like I said, as High Limit and Brad Sweet are out there getting sympathy votes from the world, World of Outlaws is over here saying, here's our dates. This is established. This is what works. We got our Volusia. We're ready to race in February, first week of February. You ain't got to guess. You ain't got to worry. We're going to come right back to Volusia in March. And then obviously right now, you don't see nothing but a Knoxville date in June. The High Bank Nationals in June. Obviously Knoxville Nationals. And the Houston Shootout, you don't see a World Finals, which I'm assuming it's going to be in there. I don't know why it ain't there already, but maybe there's issues with dates. I don't know. But what I'm hearing on the grapevine is the Outlaws are putting in the damn work. Yeah, they're not out here making hit media pieces and stuff like that, but they got the nose to the ground. Now, unfortunately, I believe in this situation that World of Outlaws is your local hardware store, and Flo Sports is the Walmart Amazon. In this glorified position of sprint car racing becoming something big, giant, and grand, the connections or the ceiling that a Flo Sports has is potentially bigger than the World of Outlaws brand. I just think that there's a little too many connections for the Flo Sports brand. It already has spanned across so many different other sports. It does have a higher ceiling, but the World of Outlaws and their little local hardware store could potentially franchise out, and we'll see what happens here very soon. But the thing they know how to do best down there at the hardware store is to just keep on working. We're just going to keep on working. We got our local little regional brand here that people in our community love. And we just got to keep on doing what we do best, and that is put on these races and branding it as the greatest show on dirt. The trademarked word or phrase, not the actual word or phrase. But I believe that's not taken, but very similar to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey, isn't it? The greatest show on earth, I think it was, for the circus acts. A lot of people joke and call the World of Outlaws and their schedule and how they do their teams and drivers and shuffle them in and shuffle them out week in and week out like a traveling circus. I mean, the greatest show on dirt is a spin-off of the greatest show on earth, I believe, from the circus acts of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey. So your jokes about it just being a traveling circus is kind of correct, actually, even to the actual trademarked phrase of the series and industry. But it is a circus. They do run them in and run them out. They do go into towns and out of towns. And from my understanding, by the end of the week, the full World of Outlaws schedule will be out. So if you wanted something to look forward to before the end of November or the end of next week or the end of this week or turkey or whatever, your dried damn bird over there that you eat, stay tuned because the World of Outlaw full schedule, I hear there's some to be announces and all that, but the schedule is coming by the end of the week. And maybe they'll delay it because I came here and they're like, oh, we can't let the Chaz be right again. Maybe they'll delay it. But from my understanding, by the end of the week, we're going to be seeing this, 15, 20 dates that we see here from the events that we already have all the ideas and understanding of. This is going to grow. This is going to grow. And I hear there's a lot of races. I hear come in March, there's going to be some down south racing, some Missouri racing, some Oklahoma racing, some more than one places in Texas racing. I would have, like I said last year when they did that early PA swing, I hear that that's not happening again, but I still feel like there's a way for the World of Outlaws or even High Limit at this point to capitalize on the big dirt track racing fan base of the Southeast. Yes, it is a majority based of fendered racing, mainly late models, mainly 6 or 20 different divisions of late models, steel heads, 602, 604s, 555s. I mean, you can just name them all. But I think that there's a market there for, fans once a year to just absolutely take over any racing facility that you was to put a big time sprint car race where they actually have the big time drivers. I don't think Cherokee is a great example that they try to do there before the World Finals because you can't have the best of the best in-person racing there due to this contract scenario. That may change very soon, You don't know that the Cherokee race next year could be 10 or 15 times higher in competition and car count, but I don't think that that's a great example of what proper sprint car shows could do in that region of the country. And in that post-Florida Speed Week era there, that's a good time to have some sprint cars down in that region. Now, High Limit Racing has announced that they're doing like a Tando event at Golden Isle with the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. That's going to be very interesting to see if Ricky Thornton Jr. and any of the late model guys will get in sprint cars. Be interesting to see if any of the sprint car guys like a Rico or something gets into a late model. It would be very interesting to see how that conglomerate of High Limit Racing and Lucas Oil works together, rather if they're both, under the High Limit Racing banner or not, which apparently I'm completely wrong on that as well, even though it makes sense to me. But they are going to be down there in that southeastern region to start the year. But it sounds like from the grapevines out there that the World of Outlaws, after this Florida Speedway deal, are going to be more so in that southern Midwest regions of the country. That's what it sounds like. I'm not 100% sure. This is just hearsay and all this stuff from the people that I'm talking to. And it sounds like a few things have been confirmed. But we're going to know for sure. Maybe they're just lying to me, feeding me false hope, or leading me down a rabbit hole just to distract. And this is a war game now, so you got a lot of decoys and things out there. It's just like when people say blame the Jews for everything and all these freaking Jewish bankers. I'm like, come on now. Like, if you're going to blame somebody, or if you're responsible for the problems in society and the world, you have to have one really good thing so that the world does not come after you, and that is called a decoy. So, in this scenario where Jews run the world, that could be a legitimate decoy, keeping you distracted and keeping you looking this direction and blaming this guy while I'm over here doing all the dirty deeds and I'm getting away with them done dirt cheap. And you're over there worried about some stuff that I created to distract you, a decoy. So this could be a decoy. I could have had some people I shouldn't trust that are playing me right now under double agents. And maybe by the end of the week, there's not going to be no schedule. And they just wanted me to come on here and look stupid because I went after the dirt tracker and their buddies or something. I don't know. But these are the strategies that play out in mental war games, the art of war. And if you go study or read up just the bullet points of The Art of War, the actual book, you could see how a bunch of those things are still happening in multiple areas of society, and even especially in this entertainment industry of dirt track racing. We're really seeing it happen right now between High Limit and World of Outlaws. I don't even know if they actually know what they're doing and how they do it, but it's The Art of War. It's an interesting book. Go read the bullet points. But that's the news that I got for you there. Stay tuned. By the end of the week, we are supposed to get a fat white man come down the chimney and deliver us some sprint car schedule shit from the World of Outlaws. We will see if that fat white man is dressed up like Santa Claus or a biker, because when you tell people about the World of Outlaws, they think you're talking about some kind of outlaw biker group. They've never heard of a sprint car in their entire fucking life. By the way, the Starbucks challenge I had the other day, nobody passed it. Everyone failed. They went and asked the Starbucks lady the next day what the World of Outlaws are, and they got the whole, what the fuck are you talking about look. So just back to brand and hoorah, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. Doug the Pug your ass up. That's all I got to say. But outside of strategy and war, the one thing I did want to talk about today, and it was because of last night's, well, hold on. We'll check the YouTube chat before we move on here, because it's about to get interesting. It's about to get interesting. By the way, looking for those super chats. Where you at? Oh, let's see. I think we got us a super chat. Let's see. Nope, we don't. Okay, we got to just scroll up. You must be getting more popular, Chaz. I'm getting an ad every 5 minutes. I don't know why. What's up, Chaz? How's it going, Loose Cannon? When we go to these tracks with USCS, we pack the stands, so they definitely want to see sprint cars in the South. That's Brad Bowden, a USCS sprint car regular-ish driver over there out of the Riverside area. Had his big drama with Landon Crowley, apparently. And he says the USCS, where Kaylee Bryson got her ass handed to her by regular old Joes, goes into these tracks in the South and packs the stands with USCS. I would say is a truck level 360 sprint car series, like a couple steps below ASCS. So, I mean, if they can do that, High Limit and World of Outlaws should be able to come in and really do some damage in the South. I just see March and April being prime time. I know that there's a lot of weather concerns at that time of the year, but that's concerns across the country. There's no place that's super dry that time of the year. Last year they tried to go to PA and it washed out. The year before that it was a West Coast swing and most of them washed out. That early year you just gotta. There's a lot of risk of potential rainouts, and I just see keeping them down there in that southeastern area right out the week after Florida. After that March bike week date at Volusia, if you was just to go up to Georgia or go somewhere in Tennessee or Mississippi or Alabama and just stay there for another month's time until you get to that late April, May weather that the northern states really kind of need to be enjoyable for a majority of people to come and spend a nighttime at, unless you want to do day races. If you want to switch to doing day races, I completely support that ideology. I think nighttime, when we are racing our product on a Friday and Saturday night, we're going up against shit that the NFL and the NBA don't even want to go up against. We're going up against women at the end of the day. We're going up against concerts and nightclubs. You think these guys are going to chase your ass at the sprint car, or you think they're going to chase their ass to the club and the concerts? We're going up against the biggest enemy of all sports and entertainment. The real entertainment. And the NBA stays away from those Saturday nights and Friday nights. NFL stays away from those Friday and Saturday nights. Even the college football scene, they try to keep them in the daytime, the bigger games. So if you want to do some day racing in March and April in the South, or really anywhere, well, I'd say still in the South, that would be nice. That'd be good. I know you're worried about track conditions, but based on the tracks this year, we need some tracks to slick off because y'all reworked the damn thing before the A-Main anyway, and it goes back to a fresh track. So The track working tactics that y'all are using in today's society at a nighttime race could fit a daytime race perfectly. At least the track will go away 5 or 10 laps sooner during a day race, and we can actually see some fucking racing instead of a damn follow the leader traffic jam. You know, because that's about what we've been getting here this year due to these track conditions. And then, well, there's some tracks that can slick off. I mean, Cedar Lake was awesome, but then there's other tracks that can't slick off because the dirt's junk and it rubbers down and goes to the single file asphalt race, basically, with sprint cars. Might as well go to Vegas and watch the damn open wheel showdown if I'm going to watch that shit. You know, so that's the scenario that we're dealing with here in sprint car racing. I mean, this is some of the, oh my. Now, then, credit to some good races, good tracks. They were out there. Just saying. The Saturday night, Friday night slot. Everyone in the sports entertainment industry is staying away from that because you're battling the entertainment industry. But we go head on at it and think we're gonna just kick ass. That's fine. Started out with Come Run With You. Hold on, let's see here. Like right there, April Wolf Outlaw dates announced. It'd be canceled at 30 degrees like always, or you could do a daytime race. Knoxville's nice enough to get it done. Just do one. I did want to put this on the screen. It looks like that we did get a new member. Obviously, down here below the video, you see a button that says membership. I believe it's the cheapest one's $2. Obviously, if you could do more than that, it'd be amazing. But the pitch and the hit is the cheapest. I believe it's $1.99 a month or something like that. But definitely want to thank Jacob for signing up for that. Jacob Semester, or Sinister, just like these World of Outlaw people, sinister fuckers. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let's see here. Scroll on down. Let's see some. Oh God, we can't even get Spike. We got to keep Spike off the screen somehow. Marty Powell said sent $5 super chat. Hey man, that means a lot. Thank you a lot for enjoying the show. Brandon is calling Spike a closet homosexual, although he didn't spell closet correct. And Jason says Chaz on the mic. T-Mez in a Ferrari in high limits and the World of Outlaws is done. You think that if T-Mez goes to the high limit series and let's throw Tanner Holmes in there. Back to the bidding. I think there should be some bidding going on right now. I think there should be some bidding for the talent of this industry. I think that if I'm high limit or World of Outlaws, I think that Tanner Holmes is worth the bid. I just do. Motherfuckers got more subscribers than the Houston Texans on YouTube. I tagged the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos in this video because, you know, we're talking about game plans, and we're going to talk about that debacle that I saw last night. I'm about to get pissed off and start screaming, by the way. So if y'all got the volume up, you might want to turn it down. I'm about to let loose for about a good 5 fucking minutes on this football game. Man, you're glad I didn't get on here last night. Unbelievable what happened in the NFL world last night. I'm fucking real. Oh my, I can't even hit the vape. I'm getting so mad. But I do think that there is value in some of these stars. T-Mez in the high limit is a very, very good player to add to the roster. What if Chaz did Shark Tank? I don't know how that would work. Looks like Jason says, yeah, Tanner and T-Mez have huge followings. You are saying huge, I hope there. Not Hugh following. But that's going to support Spike's case. He's going to get all mad at us. All right, let's get mad. Because I'm ready to get pissed the fuck off right now. I mean, last night there was a football game between the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. Okay? Buffalo Bills have been a highly explosive team. We remember the shootout they had with the Chiefs en route to the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, or I believe, or I think it was Brady Chiefs year. Regardless, they've been touted up there with some of the better football teams. And they've been having a little bit of a struggle. And usually when the struggles happen for really good teams, they get this soft-ass game, similar to the Dallas Cowboys did this last weekend. And they get to go up against a shitty team like the Giants, like the Dallas Cowboys did. And they go out there and they play a good fucking game and destroy this shitty team. And for some reason, the whole media world reacts as if they did something special and great, when they did what they were supposed to do the entire fucking time. Now, funny enough, we're talking about the Cowboys and the Bills. The Cowboys was dominant in the 90s, whereas the Bills are still, I believe, the only team in the history of the world to lose 4 straight Super Bowls. I believe Dallas was responsible for 2 or 3 of those. I think 3. But regardless, the Buffalo Bills played the Denver Broncos, the biggest joke in the league. And this is some stats. This is the 2023 NFL defensive or team defensive statistics. Okay? These other sports, they got real statistics. We don't. But the worst defense in the league is the Denver fucking Broncos. Look at this. The worst team in the league gives up the most yards. Look at that. Most yards, most points. Just the worst defensive team in the league. And they're going up against the Bills, who even in this slump year is ranked 7th in offensive yards and offensive statistics. Okay, so this should have been a blowout game. I mean, worst defense. One of the best offenses that people think are out there. Josh Allen, all the greatness. Stephon Diggs. And they come out and do this shit. Now, this is the first play of the game. Right here. Hold on, let me try to get it. This is the absolute first play of the game. And look at what they do. Blew my mind what I saw there. And like I said, the statistics, the worst defensive team in the league. There's so many things to blame here. So many things. I had to talk about that. It blew my mind. It blew my mind to see that. It just did. And apparently in basketball, he had a big badass comeback by the Raptors, which is cool. But on the other side of the border, this was happening to the local fan base. It's just disgusting what I saw there. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It's rigged. I mean, I'm sure it is rigged. I'm sure it is. For some reason, Spike is talking about Biden and broke child sniffers and super chats now or you'll perish. Loose Cannon says it's rigged. Says the man who blows gravel super chat up. Yeah, Spike Fast. Yeah. Sprint car fans don't watch football, just racing. Yeah, it's true. Football is fixed. All right, let's see a regular commenter. Buffalo Bills need to fire Sean McDermott. Get a new football coach for Buffalo Bills. I mean, I've seen that a lot. People saying that the coach is the issue. Yeah, Cowboys beat them twice, Giants and Washington the other time. So the NFC East, regardless, is what literally destroyed the childhood and caused emotional trauma for grown adults in today's society. And then they're pulling shit like that. I mean, it's causing suicides, man. That is just insane to me. Somebody's a fan. It looks like, who was it that said, costly game for me, turnovers killed us. So Jason Guthrie is apparently a Bills fan. And just sent us a $5 super chat. Just like your child affections. Man up and show the money, Ken. You're weak and broke. I won't kiss and tell. My super chats are private, Ken Joseph says. So we're having a super chat battle. This is great. Guthrie chips in. I mean, right now we're sitting at $10 a chat revenue and an hour's worth of work. I mean, $10 an hour is fairly respectable, guys. I got to say it. As a Texas resident, the Bills losing is always a good thing. Go boys. Wow. And that's coming from Cain. Cain. Like Cain and Abel. This is coming from the devil. But I'm telling you right now, the best damn quarterback in the game that I see coming is C.J. Stroud. So if you're from Texas, I know your lineage is with alliances to the Dallas Cowboys. But the old stepbrother down there has a hell of an advantage to me right now. The Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud's just looking badass to me. He just really is. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I did spend a little bit of money trying to chase his rookie cards. Luckily, I do have one coming. 49 nice patch auto, not an autograph. I'm so pissed off I couldn't get an autograph C.J. Stroud. But I think C.J. Stroud is the future for the Houston Texans. He is a real good hitter. I do not believe that Dak Prescott is ever going to evolve. Dak is always going to be Dak. You're correct. And just like Tony Romo is always going to be, it's back to what me and Jeremy Elliott were talking about earlier when we got into football. Are you that guy? It's real easy to tell if you're not that guy. It is easy to tell if you're not that guy. But if you're that guy, you can tell. I think that guy is C.J. Stroud. Dak is not that guy. Bills fan and had a few dollars on him. Oh, wow, Jason. I'm sorry about that. We can always come back with basketball, though, guys. We can always come back with basketball. Or we can all just choose to be broke Joe. Let me show y'all something. Look at the shirt we have on us today. Look at this. Federal Reserve note. This tender is good for all. I believe it says truth, fairness, and sincerity or something like that. What's it say? Hold on. I'm trying to read it upside down. Honesty. This note is a legal tender for all truth, fairness, and honesty. Of course, you got the J121, V121S. You got Fremont. You got Long Live in the Chaz as the Secretary of the States. You got it is good for $1.21, whatever that may be in your life. But this is a great piece of artwork that I can't sell. But I did buy this for myself to hopefully use as an example to sell. But since Broke Joe didn't like me disagreeing with him to the point he is silent now, I have tried to text him on occasion, no response. I don't feel like it's right to use Broke Joe's likeness to make $1, but I mean, I do have a shirt that is $120. I thought it was awesome, Broke Joe. I did all the artwork. This took me, 8, 9, 10 hour day to design, and exploitative labor. Once again, that's what happens. And once again, and back to the beginning of me saying labor and exploitation. Once a person controls what you say, you're owned, buddy. So if I disagree and that costs me money, that means that must be what that person was after the entire time, or exploited my labor, or made me work a lot for something that didn't come through. And if the reason I lost that was because of something I said, that means I was in a situation that I shouldn't have been in. That means I was in a controlled environment, because once I stepped out of their lines, I suffered the repercussions of knowing them or being able to utilize my working time. So, still think it is a badass shirt. If you have not, the trumpers of the shirt, this is all cards, but the trumpers of the shirt, I believe, is this new Professional Gaslighter shirt. I have ordered a set. I ordered a all-over print. I ordered this sweatshirt. This is a New Blends crew neck sweatshirt. This is not no cheap sweatshirt. Over here to the right, multiple colors. I believe there's like 15. Got the apron. Obviously, I got the gator like I said I would to go over to the face. And I did get a coffee cup and a t-shirt. So I think it was like $100 that I spent on my own damn merchandise. Definitely put it on the credit card. But too bad we can't offer Broke Joe merchandise with this design I took 10 hours to make. But it's fine. It's fine. We got a nice piece to wear, I guess, around the house or when you're out doing yard work. And that's that. So, but anyways, get over and check out the new Professional Gaslighter merchandise that is out there. So should I give anybody some betting? Whoa, people are all of a sudden up into the comments. Oh wow. Dak will never win a Super Bowl. 100% correct. I am weak and broke, but child sniffer am not. Don't listen to Spike. Spike, you got to have a mute button on him. Silence, Ken. Super chat or leave. I'm now on the side of Broke Joe and Dirt Tracker. War has been declared at this moment in history. You hurt the Dirt Tracker and abused him physically and emotionally. Wow. Somebody says, I want high limit cards. We can talk about that, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Tracks and drivers, maybe a crew photo too. Hi, Chaz. That Broke Joe dollar t-shirt is so cool. It is nice. I put time and effort into it, but it is what it is. Chaz Foley. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means. But hey, how about this? Let's do some let's see what we got here for NBA stuff tonight. Oh, can we do is it legal to purchase a bet live on YouTube? Is that legal? I don't know if that's legal or not. I don't know. About to find out. Let's see here. They're checking the location, making sure I'm all good. But there's some stuff going down tonight. It's a real thing if this checking location will work. Because NBA is interesting. NBA will swing like 20 points like it's nothing. It's pretty insane. So let's see some of the games tonight. I really like this game. I am going to eyeball this. I believe it is on the national TV syndicates. I really like Chet Holmgren with the OKC Thunder. And obviously Victor Wembanyama, or however the hell they're saying their last name, is a real good player as well. So these odds are actually not that bad. We may have to do this. We may have to we may have to take that $5 that you sent and turn it into 100. You know what I be saying? Turn it into 100. Let's see if we got some promos. This is how this works. I should put a link in the description on how to join freaking DraftKings. We do actually have a referral code, I believe. Refer a friend. This is it right here. Copy. Bro, we're putting this in the chat right now. Bam. Go get that. I think we even got a little referral bonus if you do. Both of us get bonuses. We both get 100% of the deposit matched up to 100 bets. Oh, okay. So we got some promotions. Let's see. We got NBA Profit Boost. This is that in-season tournament that they got going on as well for the year. So they got the in-season tournament that is actually going to be in Vegas the same weekend as that Open Wheel Showdown asphalt sprint car race. So I'm actually interested in tuning into that. Let's see here. Opt in for the same day, no sweat bet. So if you bet and you lose, you get your money back. The other ones are just like profit boosts. But I'm going to stay around this San Antonio Spurs, Oklahoma City Thunder game because I think this is going to be a very compelling game. I think there's going to be some pretty high scoring situations. Dynamic odds turned on. Let's see here on the points. What we got for some points, buddy. Let's look at this. We could do some study on ESPN, but I kind of already know these players. Let's see here. You always want to be smart, so I'm trying to build me like a 5-6 leg little point spread or little point same game parlay kind of situation. Let's see here. Jalen Williams. See, I think he's a good player. They got him. They got the odds not where I want them. I kind of want him a little bit lower than that. Chet Holmgren. I think he's gonna have to step up. But I'll tell you what, this Victor Wembanyama. I think I got it right. He's been doing some badass stuff this year. If y'all been paying attention to basketball, he's really been putting it on him. Chet Holmgren has as well. So this is gonna be a bit of a battle in the paint between these two long, tall guys. And it may end up to where they don't score that many points. I think that's very possible here. But it might open up the perimeter for other people to start making some shots. And with that being said, I think that Sochan, which is a Spurs player, I think you're going to have the ball dished out to him. And I also think that Shea's going to be doing all right. It is going to be a very intense game. I don't know about 30 plus though. 30 plus for Shea, SGA. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Dort could get 12 plus. Dort's a good player. It's a OKC a player also there. Let's stay away from these points. I'll give 10 points to Chet Holmgren. So let's see here. Isaiah Joe, all we got to do is hit a few threes. I definitely think he can go over 7.5 for points. Let's see these threes. Who can make some threes? Will Chet Holmgren get 2 threes? I don't know, guys. I don't know. But see, I have to do the research and build up these, 5, 6, 7 leg deals because I only bet like $5. I don't be throwing money away, but I be making it on this side of the aisle. I don't think Jalen Williams is going to hit a 3. Sochan, I think he's going to score tonight. It's going to be a lot of busyness in the paint. On the outside perimeters, there's going to be some open shots. I think Giddey will hit a 3 tonight. So we got the odds up pretty good now. Let's see here on the rebound side of things. These rebounds will be interesting. Chet Holmgren, I definitely think he'll get 5 or more rebounds, but he is up there with Victor. See, so you got to think about the battle here. Down there in the paint, it's going to be Wembanyama versus Holmgren. And Wembanyama, I believe, is like 7'4". Now, I don't think he's going to go over 9.5, though, in the rebounds. He could. He's badass, but I don't think he's going to get 9.5. They want him that high for those odds. I just don't think that's going to happen. Let's see here. They got alternate 8 or more. Odds are still kind of junk. The odds are good, though, for him to go over 9.5, but that is just a lot of rebounding to do. It is a primetime game. Will he show out? I think he will. Let's see what he does. All right, we'll go over. That may be the risk bet right there. But one thing that Victor Wembanyama is good at is blocks. He's definitely going to get over 2.5, I think. And then also steals. He's really good at stealing the ball. At 2.5 blocks may be a little too risky. I'm going to take that off. Blocks are relatively hard to not only get, but to score. For it to score as a block is relatively hard. And I think we're good there. I mean, we're sitting at I believe a $3,700 or 3,700 little spread here. Don't look like the promos are activating. I'm not sure why that is. Let's see if we can turn one of them on. Let's see here. All right, so yeah, we just had to turn one of them on. So that's our little and I can't believe I just taught you people how to do this, but that's how you build up a little same game parlay with, I think, some pretty accomplishable stats here. So they got the bonus available, the no sweat bet, and then you go over here, and I mean, you just put in a little $5. I mean, man, I almost want to put 10, but look at that. So we're making rent today. This is how you professionally gamble. $5, $190 if it comes through. Got to put that $5 down. Hold on. Got to get you off the screen. We'll put the YouTube chat back up there. Put the YouTube chat back up there. A little $5. Go up there, make a holla. Don't want y'all to see the banking information or anything like that. We can't be giving y'all all the details. Can't be doing that. I don't know. Should we put 10 on it? Hold on. Should we put 10 on it? I'll go check the chat here. Should we put 10 on it? Did I miss the racing and aggressive sex talk? Yes, you did. I'd bet on T-Mex in top 3 tonight. It will be interesting. Chaz, what sport were you the best at growing up? Football, wrestling, baseball, basketball. I was really good at throwing footballs and shooting basketballs. So basketball and football. Football was probably the majority-based situation, but it was always throwing and catching, really good at football. Basketball was really good at shooting. And also, I guess you could say creating space. I guess you could say I was all right with creating space. The Chaz, talk about midget racing in California tonight. Nobody cares about California midget racing. No one cares about midget racing at all. It's not Chili Bow yet. No one cares. No one cares, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. No one cares. Sorry. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but that's just... If it was worth talking about, I would probably talk about it. But it's just not worth talking about. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. I really am not. Okay, guys? I'm sorry. Midget racing is a bigger deal than high limit. Some people are short. My God. Wow. Look back at the history of splits in racing series, and after a couple years, the Splinter group will have already established a solid business or will be struggling and losing momentum. And I just don't think that the money and the support is going to run out on the Flow Sports side. I just don't think that's going to happen. Chaz, can you get one of your youth coaches on one day to talk about your athletic exploits? I don't know what that means. Not sure what that means. There is no split. It's the All-Stars with a different name. That's so wrong. Anyway, I guess that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. I already said what I had to say. Some people wanted to watch what was previously said. To do that, I got to end the stream so that y'all could tune in and rewatch the entire show. So be sure to go over to longlivethechaz.com, new arrivals. The link is in the description to go straight to the page to get those new professional gaslighter shirts and merchandise and sweaters. I can't wait to put the sweater on in these colder months. It ain't a hoodie. You know, you ain't got to zip it on and zip it off. You put it on like it's a shirt and it keeps you warm. Going to be very impactful and important. Also got to get that face mask so I can do the white trash version of cold plunging. Just by walking around -3 degrees with a face mask on, I should be protected. But anyways, we do have a late chat. Oh my. Eileen Georgeski has showed up, the babe, the lover of my life. And she says, babe, you know the rule. You got to believe in my Thunder. She's a big Oklahoma City Thunder fan. Chet Holmgren, I'm a big fan of him. I just got one of his rookie autograph cards in, sent it directly to PSA. Should be about a $4,000 card. Really looking forward to that because Chet Holmgren's doing good. He needs to stay going good. Chaz, your feminist owner is speaking. I didn't say this. I don't know where this is coming from. She will put you back in the kennel. If I was to tell you that she has a dog named Chaz, like a legitimate dog named Chaz, spelled the same way, you would not believe me. But it's actually true. It is actually true. And I think God did that to show me, hey, there's a difference between respecting the female and being their little bitch. I think somebody like a Spike Fast Racing, the thought of respecting a female makes you feel like a bitch. Now, that's not the female and the women's problem or their fault that you're that much of a douchebag. But I think that's what makes, that's your issue. That's your problem. You feel like a bitch if you listen to what a woman may have to say and respect their opinion or position on a subject. That's a you problem, Spike. That is not their problem. As much as Andrew Tate has tried to convince you that that is their fault, no, it is yours. It is yours. I think that's the best way to leave this situation off right here. Spike and me could go at it for hours and on end. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Like the video, share the video around, join the memberships just like we had Jacob do earlier. Once again, want to give a big shout out to Jason Guthrie for the super chat. We had one come in. Marty Powell for another super chat. We got to get some names back up here, and we got to add a name as well. Well, Jacob Seamster has joined the membership group here at the Chaz, and we can't wait to put your name up here to the top right of the screen. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, click that membership button. If not, go get some merch. You'll get something in return, and I'm going to keep an eye on who actually joins or buys some merch, and I'll throw your name up there as well, just on top of it all. I like those who support the Chaz, and I like to see my merch out there into the world, and I don't want that badass race car to go to waste. This badass race car that I took, 60 hours to construct. I put a damn hat on the driver, guys. You got to respect the game of this scenario. You got to respect the name of this scenario. The professional gaslighter shirt, this big-ass sprint car. That sprint car is the size of your entire abdomen. But the cool part about this car is this is the car up close. It's on the homepage of the longlivethechaz.com website. Look at how badass this car is. I mean, you got the Bandit, the Chaz, and I got the hat bin on. The driver is literally wearing a hat with the Chaz hat bin. And we even got the one eye, I'm loving it, Illuminati symbolism up and down this son of a bitch. So I'm just saying, well, what the heck, transform. Let's see here. Trying to fit the screen. It won't let me. I was trying to zoom on out a little bit, but don't waste your time on regular sprint car shirts. Get the professional gaslight shirt today. How's that? That's the way to do it? I don't know. Is that the way to do it? I don't know. Get an apron. That's the one I got. I got the apron. I'm wearing that bitch. That cup though. That pink. They got a pink cup. I like that pink cup. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for tuning in. As always, be sure to subscribe and we will catch you next time. Hopefully we'll have a song out by then. Bye.
We can ride high, we can ride low. We can ride anywhere we need to go. We can ride all night up to the morning, as long as we make the show. We can be the best or we can be the worst. We can be the best thing you ever heard. With the motor singing and the grandstands ringing, it's hard to put it all in words. But this is how we ride, this is how we do. Riding mud, sliding up higher in the groove. Don't give a damn about the cash we're spending. With the time we got, we choose to play it on the go, to stay out on the run. We all high, wide, and some. Ain't telling you what's right or wrong or what to choose. Hey, but this is how we do. This is how we do. Out on the dirt ovals we play, life in the bright lights with no shade. So letting her go, letting her rip, letting her fly, tossing her in sideways, living the life, letting her ride, outside winning to die. Cross her up on the cushion, crossing the line, cause some drama and some bullshit they didn't like. And if they don't like the move, then we're ready to fly. But this is how we ride, this is how we